In this presentation, we will record the purchase of raw materials on account within QuickBooks Pro, QuickBooks Desktop. Here we are in our QuickBooks file for the problem number 3. We've got the Open Windows open. You can open the Open Windows by going to the View dropdown and the Open Windows list. We're first going to consider our Excel worksheet to think about what we're going to do. If we go back to the Excel worksheet, we're now going to be on the tab 1.1. So tab 1.1, we're going to have the purchase of raw materials. So we're going to be increasing raw materials. Now note that if you have a system where you're just purchasing raw materials and applying them directly to the job, then you may be able to skip this kind of interim step of first putting it into the raw materials account. So I'm going to put it into the raw materials account. What we're not going to do here is be tracking the inventory items as we did in the prior presentation. So we're going to be purchasing raw materials and we're going to put them into our raw materials account up top as just 400,000, not tracking the items, just the dollar amount here. And then we're going to take that amount and we're going to apply it to the job, taking it out of raw materials and putting it to a specific job, which we will result in a cost of goods sold type of account here. Now again, if you're purchasing raw materials directly for a particular job, then you could just basically put it to cost of goods sold straight off the bat. We're just going to take it through the raw materials asset account first, have our supplies up top, then we're going to have to allocate them out to the jobs. As we do so under this method, we will be expensing them in the form of cost of goods sold at that point in time. So let's see what that will look like. We're going to go back to QuickBooks. Well, in Excel, the journal entry then is straightforward. We're just recording this journal entry. We're going to be debiting the raw materials inventory. So that's going to be the debit here, increasing inventory. So we've increased inventory. The other side's going to go to accounts payable. So this is the journal entry accounts payable, then increasing with the credit. So again, we have the raw materials inventory, which is kind of a deceiving account because it makes us think we're tracking the inventory in QuickBooks possibly. We're not in this case. We did in the prior problem, but we're not here because we're thinking that raw materials could consist of many different items, and we're going to have some other method of basically tracking it and then allocating it out. So we're just putting it on the books as an asset. Then we're going to have to allocate them to the job as we consume that asset. Okay, so if we go back to QuickBooks then, it's just going to simply be a bill that we're going to enter. So we're going to enter a bill for the raw materials we will be purchasing. It's going to be from Home Depot, we're going to say, and that's going to be the bill. I'm going to minimize this item. Let's see what the date was on our problem, January 1st. So January 1st, we'll keep everything else the same. Now we're going to be on the expenses tab. Note we're not going to be on the items tab because I'm not going to list out all the materials here because I'm not really tracking the materials in terms of the inventory tracking. So we're simply going to go to the expenses. Note, however, if I was tracking this to a particular job at this point in time, then I may use the item at this point in time and then make sure to apply it to a particular job. But I'm not putting it to the cost of goods sold account. If I apply it to an item, it would then be going to the cost of goods sold account. We want it first, and in this example, to be going to the asset account. Therefore, we're going to go back to the expenses, and we're just going to simply choose the asset account up top, which is going to be not here. We're going to have the raw materials inventory and tab, and we're going to set that up. It's going to be a other current asset type of account, other current asset, and then I'm going to say continue, and then we're going to keep it. That looks good. We're going to say save and close, and then the amount is going to be for the 400,000 we had there. So there's the 400,000 that'll populate up here as well. What will this journal entry do? It's going to be increasing the accounts payable. That's what a bill means. And then the other side is going to be going to, that's what a bill means for QuickBooks at least. That's what the bill form does, increases the accounts payable. And then the other side is going to be going to the raw materials inventory account, which is an other current asset account as we expressed here. Don't let the expense thing kind of fool you up top because this is basically everything other than items. So everything other than items, which our items are pointing to cost of goods sold, will be going here. And that in this case is an asset account of an other current inventory. All right, so we're going to say save and close. And yes, let's check it out on the trial balance. I'm going to go to the reports drop down. I'm going to go to the accounting and taxes and look at the trial balance. Within the trial balance, we'll change the dates from 010120. Let's see, let's do that again. 010120 to 123120 and tab. So that's what we have, and we see our accounts payable at the 445, double clicking on it. Then we see the activity of that 400,000, double clicking on it. There is our bill. Closing this back out, the other side going to the raw materials inventory account up top, double clicking on that, there it is there. No effect on the jobs. I'm going to close this back out. No effect on the jobs, no effect on the cost of goods sold. We haven't assigned the raw materials to any particular job at this point.